So hello, welcome to another episode of um, Edushare. Actually, this episode is quite a bit different because I'm now outside NTNU, outside my dorm. It is now I'm in the main campus of NTNU. Shiny place, shiny day, sunny. So um, there are some moments where it's actually kind of windy and cold, and maybe in most days that is the case. But today is quite comfortable, and yeah, it kind of energized me to go outside a bit, seeing all the circumstances. Um, in this video, I want to share about a thing that maybe many, yeah, at least some asked me personally, and maybe many also wanted to know more about, which is, let me shift it a bit. Okay. Which is why we should do exchange, or why we should really go abroad, or why we should really do study abroad. What actually exchange means? Is it more about the lecture? Is it more about the culture? Is it more about the tourism side? Is it more about the friends that go with you? Is it more about institution or the higher education institution, the university that would become your host university? Is it more about the specific lab or the specific building that you would be entitled into? Like if you apply as a student of art, for example, then maybe you don't really love the university in general, but you can love the art faculty itself. Yeah, there are some cases where the university is not that lovely, or it's not that fitting towards your idealism or your dream, but the specific people or the specific leaders or the specific facility there does support your dream, and it actually makes sense for someone to make a decision to go towards an exchange based on that consideration. When I decided to IISMA, which is I don't really think it is that hard to get, simply because I go to not one of the most favorite university, NTNU, and yeah, it is totally fine. It doesn't mean that NTNU is bad or everything. It's just that there are less people who are aware of NTNU, or maybe the type of faculties or majors that NTNU can provide is not that fitting towards what most students want in Indonesia. Regardless, I'm not saying that one is bad or worse compared to another. What I wanted to try to say is that when we talk about an exchange, we try to talk about a miniature of life journey. Here in Taiwan, I am with around 60 other students, and I mean 90% of them I haven't really known when I get here. I mean only one of them that I have known since I was in senior high school, but most of them, like around the other 15, they are new friends from me, and they come from various backgrounds. They come from engineering, they come from social, they come from high heralded university with high reputation, UI, UGM, such. But there are more who came for not so popular university. Some come from very luxurious backgrounds that going to another country, or having vacation outside of Indonesia is not actually that special, where for some, including me, this is a special opportunity because it's not that usual for me to go outside Indonesia or having the opportunity to study abroad. And when we meet and we connect here, what I found interesting is that there are just too many spectrums of target and ambitions that each person brings towards this program. Like some are literally going here because they just wanna stroll around and have fun time, going away from their finals, or going away from or not going away, but for like staying away, having more spatial time to go away from all the routines in their university. Some wanna literally go to every single corner of Taipei. And yeah, I've got friends who try to do it, and they are in good progress. They literally every single day, at least 2 days, 1 or 2 days, they go to new places. They stroll around having an individual or a single trip or single journey. He goes by himself, and it's fun just to see. Another type of person, they go to this place because of the facilities, because the education that this place can bring, and yeah, some just do this because of prestige, because being an exchange student, being paid fully funded by Ministry of Education, I think it is a privilege, suffice to say. But what I found interesting is that when these spectrums of interests are meeting, I think it is really important for us, regardless of who you are, when you decide to go into an exchange, you have to keep an identity of why you are here, simply because most likely you will find that many people are not in favor or not in the same goal as you are, especially if you aim to do something maybe greater or better than what others want to dream about. If you want to maybe going literally to every single side of Taipei, like to every single side, or you want to taste every single food and make a journal or document, keeps a record of every single food that you have tried here, and tell it to Indonesians, like how good each food is, and maybe telling us how actually these foods are as delicious as Indonesian food, not that different. If you really want to have research here, just do your research until you have made an official publication. If you want to make business, then just do your business as such. I think there is not that many people, or if there is any, then maybe there is not many who can commit towards their dream that they allocate at the beginning. I've tried to observe some of my friends, and I think that there are some who actually has set their dream, but when they come here and circumstances force them to change their dream, they change their dream. They do not change their dream, but they are not doing what their dream asks them to do, if it makes sense. Like, they dream for example, to learn about management, but the courses that are available did not allow him to learn about management. The thing that he does, instead of finding ways to learn about management or totally change what he wants to pursue here in Taiwan, is just instead trying to explore and not explore, but more like trying to just finish the courses enrollment, trying to just take what the other friends take in terms of courses, or just following what others are taking. The courses that the other friends are taking, he or she is just taking them, instead of being persistent with the goal that he wants to achieve at the very first place. Now, I don't see that it is totally wrong. You have to be adaptable towards the available resources that you have. Like, if you don't really have friends that are really empowering, and you literally do not have any, then there is another way to solve it, which is to empower your friends, to make them empower you, like show them gratitude, show them some kind of inspiration, inspire them to be better, and to be sure that they can achieve what they previously think cannot. But I understand that you can't really be that generous, or be that empathical towards what others are dreaming or what others are pursuing, in a sense that if those people are not that greedy, if those people do not really have that a huge level of ambition, that maybe it is what it is. And I'm not saying that having a big ambition is the truest thing to do in every single moment. Like, having your time, having your pace is actually a good thing, but for those who actually want to do something big or try to do some a specific goal that you have set and you have detailed to an extent that you certainly can imagine what the outcome would look like, what the timeline would look like, and then when you come into the exchange place and you realize that many things are not in your favor, even with all your previous researches, then I suggest that you kind of have to reflect and decide which path you want to go. In my case, I love sports, and when I first select to go to Taiwan, what I understand is that I want to learn about sports science, and I think that Taiwan has the facility to do that. And while of course for sure other universities can also have the sport education or sport science major, and many are actually better in terms of their prestige, but there are not many that are available in the IISMA back then. So I just tried to choose NTNU, and when I choose NTNU, and I finally passed and I enter this batch of IISMA awardees at NTNU. What I found out is that I think I am the only one who consistently wants to learn about sports. Like some of my friends are interested about sports, but at the end they do not take sports courses. Like it's just me from all the other students, which is totally fine, right? Because interest about sport is not the general or the popular. And because of that, I'm trying to manage my course enrollment independently, because taking sports science, which is outside of my undergraduate background, it requires some level of pushiness, kind of, like I have to be pushy, so just keep asking whether I'm eligible or not, because I really want these courses, no matter what courses that are related to sports science, and I finally got one. That's the first thing that I think is the cost or is the risk of me really wanting something that may not be that accessible. Like I can take other courses that are that are easier to enroll, and not having that much complexity, but I decided to just do and get what I think I love, especially right now. And second, like all of my friends that I have right now in the classroom, all of them are non-Indonesian. Some of them do not really know how to use English, which is gives me another homework. But I think it kind of pushes me to go again outside of my comfort zone, and trying to adapt and make friends with make real friends with them, and also I think right now I kind of be able to state my personal branding quite strong, in the sense that when we had a debate assignment a couple of weeks ago, with my background, with my not so successful background as a debater, I just shared some frameworks or thought process of how you create an argument, how to make a good assertion, how to make a good rebuttal, and so on. And from that, moving onwards, they kind of know, like, if they are facing deadlocks regarding the idea to solve problems or the way to deliver or make it into a story, then they can discuss with me. And I also take another course of sports. It's called health management, and I will share more after I attend the class, for sure. But taking these courses are not really conventional in a way. As engineer, taking up sport courses are irrelevant maybe for some, not conventional at the very least. I do not really know like whether I would literally work at this industry or not, but one thing that I know is that I truly love this field. I wanted to learn as much as possible about this field, and if whenever the opportunities present itself, then I am making sure to myself that I would be ready when that opportunity comes. because luck is when opportunity meets preparation. And I think with those backgrounds, I tend to believe more that at the end of the day, it is more about how we can believe towards the dream or the goal that what we have set, rather than just being adaptive every single day towards what our friends are doing. Because at this point, I kind of agree that you cannot really label like person A is bad, person B is good, person A is diligent, person B is not diligent, so person A is good, person B is bad. Like those distinctions, black white distinctions, monochrome distinctions, it's not really applicable in real human, because every single one has their own benefit, has their own advantages and weaknesses, and has their own strengths, weaknesses, and you can't really force someone to literally be a 180-degree version of themselves. Like they can't really, like you can't force someone who is very noisy and very active to suddenly be quiet and be patient every single time. They can do it at some point, but they won't do it literally every time. On the other hand, someone who kind of be quiet, not so responsive, or not so agile in terms of their working ethic, but on the other hand, they are so kind and they are so helpful, and they lend hand whenever their partners or their workmates needs to. Those kind of people are also having their own moments where you kind of feel like, oh, this guy is actually very helpful towards the growth of the team or the growth of the organization. So I'm not saying that if you are seeking for an exchange opportunity, then you have to segregate your friends. It's not good. You have to give time for yourself to have some interaction with as many individuals as possible that are there in your batch, trying to know who they are, what they are into, whether they can contribute towards your current dream or not. Or even if not, can you analyze or point out what are their strengths that can actually be utilized in future opportunities. I never thought that I have to work with business persons, but having intern at our doc, I worked with business people, and I think through business, many solutions become very sustainable and feasible, which I did not think it was important, but yeah, life taught me that it is actually quite important. So I just think that with all those considerations, being able to filter what is right and what is wrong, what things that you are confused and what things that you are not confused. Like there are some things that we believe that are actually true because we have validated it through numerous experiences, but there are also some beliefs or some personal identity that we bring along just because I have to, or I love to, without having the experience to validate it. Like I always believe that I'm the most structured person ever, but life taught me that I am actually a more feeling guy rather than thinking guy. And at some point I have to use my strength, although I come from engineering background, which usually requires me to be very logical and very detailed thinking and stuff. But because my ability or my nature is more on the feeling side, then whenever I make decision, I have to take into account my intuition, because it is sometimes it is actually the best decision that I take for some reasons. So with all that being said, what I would just want to say to you is that having an opportunity to exchange is a very complex thing, I think, in terms of how would you allocate your time, what type of product, what type of outcome do you really want to get every single time, or maybe in many cases you would be asked to go outside to stroll around. Even if when we are in Indonesia, I don't think it's that hard to reject it, because we literally live every single day in Indonesia. maybe we have seen most of the things that are there, but when we go outside, there are so many unknowns that are very interesting to be seen, to be visited. And it's always lucrative. It is always, you can always give justification like ini nggak hanya jalan-jalan, ini tuh kunjungan budaya untuk tahu ini, untuk tahu itu. Oh, ini tuh bagus nanti buat dokumentasi, buat Instagram. There are numerous justifications to validate why you go outside or why you go for a vacation today and tomorrow and 2 days later and so on. But the question then becomes, what kind of justification do you want? What kind of person do you really want to be after you finish your exchange? It is a personal reflection, but if anyone asks me how to decide it, I think it kind of gives the first step is to imagine what kind of person do you want to be. The second step is to analyze what the resources that will be available once we get there. Thirdly, making a timeline or plans of what you will do, why you gonna do those things, and how the timeline or the deadline for each milestone or each activity that you want to do there. And I think four, just let the God does what he does, providing you with more resources that you expect, or maybe less resources than you expect, and by that it will give us boost, or it kind of gives us a little push to adapt and be better. I think that is all about an exchange program. So whenever anyone feels kind of confused on what should be seek, when you decide to go on exchange, I think you have to really decide on what thing you want to pursue. I want to be a sports scientist, die hard, so I go there. So I really push all the committees and everything to allow me to take these courses, even if it is not that easy. It was not that easy. Having to have lecture with literally athletes and professional coaches, while I did not have any professional experience in sport. And also I maybe can't really relate with my other friends are talking about from Indonesia, because many of them are actually taking similar courses, because they can group and be together. Instead, I decided to be a lone wolf in many things, especially currently, even right now when I'm recording this video, actually all of my friends are actually indoor, but I decided just to stroll around and make this video. And whenever you guys feel that or doubt that this is worth it, when you try to be alone and try to be a lone wolf and push towards the dream that you want to have, even though there are not many people who can relate with you in the dorm or in the building or in the house, when you are living together as an exchange student from Indonesia, then please just believe yourself that you have done what is supposed to be done. And I wish that you can be the best version of yourself after you finish the exchange program, in whatever goals you want to achieve, in whatever direction, in whatever feat you want to get. I think believing in yourself, having the right slogan to empower yourself, I think it's very important. I want to close this by sharing one of my personal slogan that I actually use over there right now. 3 weeks and a day, 3 weeks and 2 days going into this exchange program. I believe that I'm here to win. I'm here to win against my laziness, my doubtfulness, my insecurity, my anxiety, to win against my undisciplined personality. I have to defeat others' interests who are not relevant with my goal and my community and my project's goal. Defeating my shyness or my uneasy feeling when I'm facing the environment, and also and for sure to win against my friends in the same batch. I really want to win against them. I want to be better, I want to be more diligent, I want to be more disciplined against them and everything. And that's what's gonna define my success here, in my personal opinion. I want to be successful in whatever methods that are available. I won't share more details to you, because not all details I can share to you, but if there's any, um, yeah, I think that's the case. I just want to win here. I just want to do the best thing that I can be, and if it means that I have to be a lone wolf and not really be so casual with others, then that is the price that I would pay. Um, while also at the same time, at some moments when my feeling or my gut feeling says that I need to, be more, I don't know how to be more humble in the sense that I try to follow the way my friends work, and not really judging that they are lazy or stuff. Then I should do it, because if I am too sure of what my goal is and not validating it repeatedly in the way to achieve it, then most likely I will also be failed, because I'm not involving other people in my dream, which is I think a total mistake that I have done numerous times. So finding those correct balances of when to involve others, when to be with others, and when to be alone, and when to finish your task alone, when to make an unpopular decision for others just for the sake of yourself. It's gonna be the key to define what a good exchange program is. Yeah, I think that's it. I think there are more people who have their more bold opinions of what an exchange should be. I'm here just to provide a middle ground of or consideration on how you should define and what is the thinking process of you until what is the thinking process that you can do to finally can define what is your win in your opinion. And I think it has to be really defined before you go to whatever country or whatever university you want, because that is the thing that you have to keep dearly with all offerings, with all irrelevant fun things that you can have in the new country or in the new environment. At the end of the day, habits, commitments, disciplines for the goal or for the task that you want to finish or you want to pursue, I think that's always value more than just strolling around without having really a big goal to pursue. I think that's all from me. Hopefully this can empower you guys who want to go to certain countries or having the opportunity to study abroad. I wish you all the best of luck. And this sharing, I just wanted to mention that whenever you are doubtful about joining an exchange program, and being doubtful whether I actually can, whether it's actually worth my time, whether it actually kind of be able to boost my leadership ability, my networking ability, then I think first you have to believe that you can, and second you have to make prepared a detailed timeline, finding out the resources, and after that carry on. You make the timeline, and if there is any adjustment that you have to do after you arrive, then please do so. Adjust, but never stop to adjust until you find the right adjustment. And even when you find the right adjustment, then when the condition changes, for instance, like you have like your inner circle, like a group of 4 to 5 people in your exchange group that you can really relate to. But then someone or two of them, then suddenly and then you gradually having other interests, having other circles, then you have voids to gap in your group. Then at that point you should be able to adapt and be better in that regard. I think there are more people who are gonna sit with the bench that I am now, so I'm gonna close this video. Thank you so much, and hopefully this video will help you to process your exchange plan. Thank you so much. Bye bye, and see you in another episode of Edushare. Thank you.